doing the Earthquake Barbarian. It's one of my favorite builds, so yeah, I'm doing the Earthquake Barbarian. Starting off a Barbarian playlist, I thought why not start with Leapquake. So my overall thoughts of the Earthquake Barbarian is it's a super fun build. It's tough and can push to high greater rifts. It's got awesome items. The sword is just amazing. With the Season of the Grandeur, it lets you throw on Mage Fist, and that's cool because a lot of throwback items don't usually get used as best in slot, so I'm pretty happy about that. So I got a lot of Barbarian videos coming. I got a lot of content to catch up on for this YouTube channel, and I'm going to start with some Barbarian builds. Also, there's going to be some videos that are kind of meh and kind of boring. I'm going to be practicing with some boring topics as far as like creating videos goes, so bear with me on some of that stuff. The Diablo fans website is closing, probably because of like YouTubers making news on Diablo all the time, but it kind of makes you wonder why a news site or a fan site wouldn't make their own Diablo channel. I don't know, maybe that's bad on them, but who knows. Somebody's got to bring you guys news. I guess I will then. Okay, you want to talk Earthquake. AoE is what I'm all about, and well, Earthquake does that amazingly. So the Earthquake build uses the Might of the Earth set from the Barbarian, and it basically makes Leap and Earthquake your main attack. So what's cool about that is what used to be a huge cooldown is now a spammable attack. Okay, so the 2-piece bonus reduces the cooldown of Earthquake, Avalanche, Leap, Ground Stomp for 1 second every time you spend Fury. So the 4-piece set bonus is it causes Leap to cause Earthquake every time you land, and it automatically gives the Iron Impact rune to Leap, freeing up another space to choose another rune, which you'll take Death from Above on. The 6-piece bonus is Earthquake, Avalanche, Leap, Ground Stomp, Ancient Spear, Seismic Slam all increase 20,000% in damage. So those are all pretty significant buffs, and it makes the playstyle of the Barbarian completely different and pretty amazing. Alright, now I'm going to talk about some honorable mentions as far as items go that are going to change the playstyle even more when it comes to the Leapquake Barbarian, starting with the Loot Socks. The Loot Socks basically, once you cast Leap, it lets you cast Leap without starting the cooldown for 2 seconds before it starts the cooldown. So you'll be able to cast Leap 3 times before it starts the cooldown. That will then produce enough Fury for you to Rage Dump, or Fury Dump I should say, with your Seismic Slam Rumble, and that'll automatically reset the cooldown of Leap, allowing you to continue leaping 3 times again. The other item that is going to change the playstyle just a little bit when it comes to the Leapquake Barbarian is the Blade of the Tribes, and this is going to make it so that your Threatening Shout casts an Earthquake when you cast it, and it also casts Avalanche, so it's going to be your source of Avalanche for this build. So what was basically just a damage reducer is now it amplifies damage and casts 2 spells, so it's a damage ability now, a huge damage ability. Okay, now let's go over your defensive items. So your defensive items are going to be Ancient Parthon Defenders, Band of Might, and Esoteric Alteration. So Leap is not only your main attack, but it's also your biggest damage reducer as well. and that's going to be through the Ring of Might, which is going to reduce damage every time you leap by 80%, and that's going to last for, I believe, 8 seconds. On top of that, when you leap, the set bonus is going to give you Iron Impact, which increases your armor 150%. So not only because you get the Iron Rune Impact for free, you're going to also get to choose another rune, being Death from Above, and that's going to stun enemies, so you're going to take Ancient Parthen Defenders, which for every enemy stunned, it's going to reduce damage even further. Your sustain healing is going to come from your Battle Rage with the healing rune, and then it's going to come from the sword that gives you the stat that gives you life per fury spent. And every time you cast Seismic Slam with the Rumble rune, it's going to basically be like popping a healing potion. Okay, so here's a list of the rest of the items you're going to give. I'm not going to go through all of them because they're basically damage increases and stat increases. So it's not going to change the playstyle at all, so it doesn't really need to be talked about. Now for the skills. You're obviously using Earthquake. You're going to take Molten Fury for damage. And for your other abilities, you're going to take Seismic Slam, you're going to take Rumble on that like I mentioned before, Battle Rage, you're going to take the Healing Rune, Leap is going to be Death from Above like I said, again, Threatening Shout, you're going to take Falter, and remember it's a damage ability now, not a damage reduction ability, and then Wrath of Berserker is going to be your final skill for more damage. Your passive abilities are going to be Earthen Might, Rampage, and Ruthless, and Nerves of Steel for the Hellfire Amulet. The other two gems that I didn't mention are Bane of the Stricken, which is to help AoE damagers with single targets, and then the Bane of the Trapped, which from stunning everyone, that's going to proc that effect. For your cube, you're going to take the Furnace for the weapon slot, and then for the armor slot, you're going to take either the Loot Socks or the Mage Fist. Whichever one rolls better, you're going to equip. And then for the jewelry slot, you're going to take Convention of Elements or the Band of Might, and the same. Whichever one rolls better, you're going to equip. Boom, that's the Earthquake build. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't already, and I will see you guys on the next one.